Marie de la Palme was born on August 19, 1959, and raised in Grenoble, France, where her father worked as a nuclear physicist. Three sisters followed. And the young family spent many weekends in a primitive cabin in the Alps, which gave Marie a love of unspoiled nature and regular opportunities for her creative imagination to run wild. Her mother enrolled her in dance classes, partially as a way to channel her high energy. When her father's career took the family to live for a year in Long Island, New York, Marie gained a fluency in English and a love of American culture. Marie's Roman Catholic parents inspired her faith in God and a lifelong study of theology. Her beliefs were fed by middle-of-the-night discussions with her father, by visits to a Catholic retreat center in the Alps, and by a profound religious experience she had at age 17. She also enjoyed normal teenage rallies with friends she retained for life. She claimed that no boy wanted to kiss her because she was too skinny and obnoxious. After finishing her baccalaureate, she moved to Geneva, where she blossomed into a statuesque, beautiful dancer, and discovered she could support herself as a model. Her height was an impediment to a career in ballet, so she took a scholarship to the Alvin Ailey School in New York and became a principal dancer in its third company. She also freelanced as a commercial and concert dancer while supplementing her income as Danskin's cover girl and traveling spokesperson. On a Wednesday afternoon in April of 1983, an injured knee made it advisable for Marie to skip dance class, so instead, she attended a matinee performance of Marcel Marceau on Broadway. Her beauty caught the eye of ticket taker Joseph Mulroy, an aspiring musical theater composer. When in 1984 she decided to adapt a children's book into a stage musical as a fundraiser for her church, Marie turned to Joe to write the music. In working together, they discovered they had creative as well as personal chemistry. The couple got married in France in 1986 and settled in New York, where Marie taught and choreographed with Jacques d'Amboise for his National Dance Institute. For the birth of their first child, Daniel, in 1989, the couple moved to Joe's hometown of Newport Beach. As a young mother, Marie taught at Orange Coast College and spent several years freelancing as a choreographer of stage musicals, including a few composed by Joe.
Have you a pet superstition? What are your innermost dreams? Things you like to see and do. Bring me up to date on you. Get the family album filed away on the shelf.
After the birth of Elizabeth in 1995, she felt the need to focus her talent on creating ambitious new concert dances.
I'd been doing lots of musicals in a row, and I just thought, I have something to say, and if I don't, what am I doing choreographing this stuff, with dancers who don't care that much? And that was a real epiphany.
Marie's relationship with Irvine Valley College began in 1999, first as a part-time instructor and choreographer, then as founder of the Performing Dance Ensemble, before signing on full-time in 2008. This was an extraordinarily productive period in which Marie created some of her most acclaimed, imaginative, and deeply moving works.
Tu seras reine, ne me quitte pas, 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 ne me quitte pas.
realized I had a lot of things inside of me that I wanted to express, and I better get on with the program. And that's when I created the Red Fabric, you know. And the response that I got from the Red Fabric clearly told me I was on to that. This is what I was supposed to be doing. I guess it was triggered maybe by articles that I read in the paper about ethnic fighting. And I made detailed drawings of this dance. The idea that it's not by becoming all the same. People are fighting for their own identities around the world. There's something about recognizing the identity, but having the identities collaborate and compromise. Not in the sense that you're betraying yourself, but in the sense that you have to make room for everybody. And to make room for everybody, you have to move over a little bit. It's just, there's no other way. And the idea was exactly what I got to do, which was to get everyone to dance together, but everyone in their own vernacular.
She co-founded Motion Tribe with her colleague Maritza Penger, all while nurturing her growing family, excelling in her various professional commitments, and contending with an unexpected new challenge. At age 43, she discovered a lump in her breast that proved to be stage 2A breast cancer. She went into remission and was declared cured in 2008. In 2011, new painful symptoms were eventually diagnosed as stage 4 breast cancer. Over the next 3 years, her colleagues marveled at the grace with which she handled her increasing responsibilities around her chemo schedule. In May of 2014, shortly after directing what proved to be her final Perspectives concert, she became jaundiced and feverish. The ordeal cost her weight and strength she never regained. On November 21st, she attended a Perspectives concert. She enjoyed a performance of her masterpiece, The Cage, and was embraced by an adoring cast and crew. The next night, she became acutely ill. Her beautiful, talented body was damaged beyond repair. Marie finished planning her own funeral service. Her 3 sisters flew in from France to help care for her and to say goodbye. On December 14th, 2014, she died in her sleep at home with her sisters, her husband, and the 2 children they had successfully raised to adulthood. As she requested, her family buried her ashes at the foot of an ancient oak tree at her beloved family farm in France.
I've always perceived her meeting Joe as outright providence. It brought her peace, love, and stability, without which it would have been difficult to give herself completely to a calling so profoundly human, artistic, and spiritual. I believe her marriage and the children born from it were the foundation that allowed her to find joy and to fully express herself.
She would almost kind of baby us at times where in the real world we would have been hit hard with maybe more harshness, but I love that about her because as much as she did prepare us, she also let us feel like we're in a safe place and a place of good friends and comfort.
Marie de la Palme inspired those around her with her vision, leadership, humor, and kindness. As Joe put it simply, if you knew her, you loved her.